the way the US collapsed, for me. It's the way y'all got technology helping y'all, but y'all still messed up, for me. It's the way y'all can change faces and y'all still ugly, for me. It's the way y'all killing people for no reason but need to work on developing a hair regrowing serum because balding is a real issue in the story, for me. I'm genuinely not surprised. Literally 30 years in the future, you do the math. Humans are still divided. I mean, kinda expected a nuke or some kind of meteor to take the entire race out, but no, we get them fighting over people getting technology integrated in their body. Literally, these people implemented an article because they were so pressed and stuck in a global recession, it's almost at a you site problem in the US. Clay Campbell, our main character who's an American star that's against the technology implements, died mysteriously and erupts a problem with the CTG and Neon Future, a resistance group movement that stands with the integrations. Clay Campbell is against it, but gets revived by the technology. I know, right? Irony, something you hate so much and you end up being one. Wrong wording, but who gives a fuck, cause I'm right? Yeah, me. The most wanted man in the US, Kita, and the brain behind Neon Future, decides to bring Clay Campbell back to life with technology integrations. Kita reasons are honestly really smart. It could bring everyone in that world a step closer to peace, but not everyone's going to understand, especially Kita's bald sidekick in the beginning. You're bald, remember? You don't have enough hair to make choices right now. You can fight, but not really. But with Clay's resurrection, he has a beautiful dream world where he meets a mask-wearing, sword-wielding figure who resembles a condom with black coffee poured in it, swings at Clay out of this world, and tells him they're enemies because Clay actually hunted people they loved, presumably people with the technology integrations in his past life. But then we continue on to Clay being in the Coliseum slums, where he sort of makes a debut and people are freaking out, and we really see how these people with technology integrations live. It's really dirty, really filthy, very messed up over there. So now he's making it known that he's alive and meets some people who are willing to help him after being in disbelief and seeing his technology. Until Major EZ, someone who probably doesn't even know what shampoo feels like, storms in there trying to make a statement. And it's at that point you realize that these people are willing to literally cause violence and legit end people's lives because they're still people as well. They literally just have technology added onto their body and they're willing to just end people's lives just to make a literal example, a literal demonstration. So Major EZ just comes off as just so brutal and soulless and just a killer, and it almost sounds like something someone would perceive an actual robot to be bad or something, like they don't have any emotion, just like EZ. That's kind of crazy. They storm this area Clay's in, shooting people and blowing stuff up. Float, the only person whose name we get is because he makes it out with Clay alive. Clay insists on telling them that's him so they could stop the fire and stop and killing all these innocent people. So in a moment of desperation, when he's trying to tell them he's him, he's actually Clay, they don't believe him. And this is where we see what Kita added to Clay's body so he can defend himself. He has the ability to shoot out a ton of electricity out of his body and get him and Float out of the situation. And then we get to meet another important character who Float just can't help but admire. We learn he's a little horny bastard whose favorite item would most likely be lotion, besides oil. Get it? It'll click, don't worry. We meet Rosie, who's pretty much to herself in some ways, and is quick to fight when she realizes Clay Campbell is there. But they come to some kind of terms, and she helps him get a face spoofer to change his face, which was the original plan to get him to the checkpoint. But Clay, traumatized by his younger look, because he feels like he's not really himself anymore, and he's still trying to adjust, and he feels still kind of like, technophobic. yeah, I just said that. Yeah, hate me. So he isn't really on agreement with using the spoofer, but Float has another idea and it's take him through the loop. And this kind of freaks out Clay, so we learn that the loop isn't exactly the safest place. And this is where we actually get our first battle. Clay, we get to see him kind of more so master his ability throughout this scene. They come across Gecko's men who are wanting some gear and are protecting the passage. They get interested in seeing Clay's gear after scanning them. As you can see, all the bald people are causing the problems. Literally just take a water bottle and throw it at them. They're one circuit from literally getting fried. Come on, please. Clay ends up taking them down, but they end up getting captured by some hidden men. And we get to see that even the people within the technology world are separated themselves too in a way. Dr. Splice is interested in this tech. Now, Dr. Splice, yeah, a mean-ass smack cam, you would hear that shit from like a mile away, which is so tempting, and starts trying to rip Clay's technology off his head. So, this is where we see Clay actually begins to learn to use his machine-like skills. He returns to the dream world, and this world disrupts the more he panics, and we come across this little figure again. For someone who literally tried to kill him, he's interested in working with him, so I don't personally get it, but he tells Clay that he has to understand that he has to make peace out of everything. Literally, someone could have a whose face literally about to pull the trigger, and he has to make peace out of it. Yeah, no. He learns to finally trigger his ability, and this is how him and Float escape that situation as well. And this is where we meet Dee, someone who resides next to Kita, is sassy and powerful and helps take down these men. That stands with her in a way. They know of her existence. They even seem kind of cordial with her, but are not trying to let these two go by. She's a baddie. I stand. I know. As soon as they get to departure, we meet Gecko, a woman so terrifying, with her emerald eyes, long claws for hands, and can lift men with ease, who believes that the upgraded should be in power. They get news that Clay's alive and freaks out, and we learn one more of her henchmen is supposed to be getting an upgrade from Kita. It seems that Kita is in more control than we actually are aware of. So on the way of, Clay wants to meet his mom and tell her he's alive. And surprise, that old bitch, you know, she's happy at first, but as soon as she's seeing that he's not exactly normal, instead of being a grateful old bitch, she becomes an old hag and snitches. Some people on the last leg just don't know how to go out nicely. I swear to God, that could never be me. But lo and behold, guess who shows up? Detective Shampoo! Oh my God, I know, I'm funny because he doesn't wear shampoo because he's bald as shit. Shows up at the house and has a bit of a standoff with Clay. We can tell he still has remorse with Clay, so we know from the beginning he seems to be pretty brutal, but he has some kind of humanity. And you see that he still has some empathy. It's really interesting because you see the humans who don't have implements are a lot more colder than the people with them. So from then on, he gets on a motorcycle and escapes after having a standoff with a gun. And this is where Clay realizes he's not exactly welcome back to his normal life. The world he helped stand against technology being added is now turning against him, and now he's one of these people. Neon Future has beautiful imagery and an amazing art style. I think the story's strongest points is really pushing the irony or the karma on the main character. We see in the dream world, in one of the scenes when he's in danger, he falls into a water full of dead people trying to pull him down, presumably the people he's gotten killed or killed himself, and we see him get a taste of his own medicine. And we even see Easy's struggle as well. He wouldn't hesitate to kill or hurt someone with implements, but he had an internal struggle with himself because he cares about Clay when he had a gun to his head. I think it's very personally what they're going through, the way the world is, they're killing people that are still people. I don't want to completely blame Clay for it, but he does play a big part of making that lifestyle stronger from what we've seen. I also see a good opportunity in the story for having a good way to give Clay a good character development. The story's coloring really gave me a better understanding of the feeling of what it's like to be in that world. It's grim for truly both sides. The story really makes itself stand out at the beginning before really putting out the ooh action out in your face. It shows a world pretty together but still so divided, and really says something about society. Don't ask me, I just wanted to try and sound smart. Overall, I like this comic personally. I think Steve Aoki has an amazing comic on his hands, and he's so talented. No, because the way God literally has favorites, no. But I hope this convinced you to go check it out. I recommend it. Definitely go make sure to leave a like on the comic and comment on it to tell it how good it is. And definitely come back to my channel to tell me how good it is. Also, I'm also working with IT Comics to do a little giveaway for the comic. We will be giving away 5 bundles of t-shirts and graphic novels. To enter, you have to be subscribed to me, follow me on Instagram, and have commented on this video and the comic about how great it is. Take a screenshot and send me a DM on Instagram of proof, and you'll be entered, and I'll announce the winners next week.